This is my 1996 Subaru SVX LSI. The LSI is the highest trim package that they made for this vehicle. They manufactured it from 1992 to 1997. And I had a green one that had a gray interior back in high school, and I loved it. This car is definitely a gem of the 90s, probably one of the best cars that came out of the 90s, and yet it's underappreciated. The unique Italian styling of this Subaru SVX helped it to compete with the likes of Lexus, Infiniti, but at the same time, the Mitsubishi 3000 GT and the Nissan 300ZX and all the other ones that were both sports car or luxury coupes. Had a lot of luxurious features such as actual rims, and has a very wide 225 50/16 tire, so it really could grip that road. And this is one of the wider tires at the time, I think, even wider than what they're putting on Ford Mustangs. The thing most people notice about this vehicle is the windows, and just the unique look of those windows make it stand out. Just kind of like the DeLorean, with this part of the window is secure and this rolls down. We'll be reviewing DeLorean eventually. I tricked mine out with some Transformer symbols. It's the Decepticon mobile. It's the Subaru Icon. It sports a 230 horsepower straight six engine, and it is not the fastest around, not the most horsepower, but this thing can handle itself over 100 very well. In fact, I feel like it handles better at 100 than it does at 40. And I can't say I drive it over 100 very often. So it has this sunroof, but it kind of pops up. Now, I don't know if I always liked that, but I kind of got used to the styling, and I think I do like it now, many years later. That does add to the overall look of the vehicle for sure. Now, I do have a couple of parts cars for this, and parts are expensive. It being kind of a rare vehicle, not that many on the road. I would venture less than 1,000 on the road in the US. I think they said they've sold from 1992 to 1997, they sold about 7,500, 72 to 7,500 worldwide. Now, I don't know if that statistic I heard or read was accurate, but it sounds about right to me. The original sticker price was $25,000 for this thing, and in today's money, that's well over $50,000. And I don't think people are going out and buying themselves anything that a Mitsubishi kind of vehicle similar to this for $50,000. And I think that's probably why they scratched the old 2017 model, because of price, and they didn't think it would sell very well. This vehicle sports an all leather interior, and it does have a back seat, although it leaves it's a little lacking in the back seat department, but better than, say, a Nissan 300ZX. Now, the back seat was an issue because I do have kids, and I wanted them to be able to ride with me and enjoy the experience in an SVX. One more downside is it doesn't have a cup holder. Now, they've made aftermarket add-on cup holders that you use in the center console, but then it takes up a lot of your storage. Now, inside, you're going to see this vehicle is way beyond its time. They packed so much into this vehicle, I don't even know where to start. The obvious cruise control, security system, fog lights. They've got defrost on the actual windshield, on the rear view mirrors, automatic mirrors, packed everything in here. Diagnostic connection, which, by the way, I keep in the glove box. An OBD2 sensor, just in case a check engine light pops on and I want to see if there's anything wrong, which, okay, that's a little overkill, I understand. Now it did pack a double-din stereo, which the original stereo the CD player skipped, so I got a new one and installed it. Now if you're installing this, one guy made a wiring harness that works perfect to install it, but there's no other way to get a wiring harness, and I don't remember where I got it from or where he's from, but yeah, I can watch full movies in here because I've upgraded that thing. Looking down here, you can your standard lock and unlock, and it's interesting too because the if I lock this, then the other side locks at the same time. Interesting feature. Looking up at the sunroof. Now it will close a bit, but then it just stops halfway, which my first one I thought was broken back in the 90s when I owned one. And then it'll close all the way. But then when you go to open it, it does this partial open and then stops, so that you could get just open enough to get a little fresh air. It has what they call the environment system. So, like air conditioner would be the auto, circulate, and then you pick your level. You can pick your temperature, but I don't feel like this works that well. I feel like it's basically you get to a certain degree and then it switches to heat. That's really what it is. It doesn't really feel like it holds the temperature just right. You can check the outside temperature on this, which is great. And kill that. It has a separate clock, which I'm finding a lot of cars are integrating the clock into the stereo. So if you do put a new stereo in, you don't always get a clock. So I like that. And my old one had a power button, or a power light right here, so that when you slammed on the gas, for some reason, it would turn on a power light. Glove box is seriously, it's big, but it doesn't hold much. It's weird. So maintaining the interior suede can be a bit of a challenge. I got a suede brush, but it doesn't do much. There was a couple of cigarette burns in it when I got this one. That is, of course, buying a 20-plus-year-old car used, you're gonna have those issues. There's a little bit more of the back of the interior. And yes, that seat folds down. This is a problem where this part here hangs up. When you open this, and then, of course, I got all kinds of stuff for the car just crammed in here, things I need to use for it. It does have rear windshield wiper. It does have a release on the inside for the gas tank, and that's good and it's bad. It helps people don't steal your gas or mess with your tank. But I do want to say that there are some issues. These generally have transmission problems. All the original 4E transmission usually fails. This one has the upgraded legacy Outback transmission swap. Challenges with that is getting the gear ratio correct. The other problem that it has, rear wheel bearings tend to go out due to the weight. The excessive 3,300 pound curb weight that it has causes some of these problems. I know a lot of people have had electrical issues with theirs, with the wiring harness, and I do know that it crammed a lot of technology into a really old vehicle. But this being in 1996, they worked out most of the bugs, and by 97, that's the most sought after model because it is probably the best. Let me know what you think about the Subaru SVX. Did you even know it existed prior to this? Heck, did you even own one? Let me know, like and subscribe. Tidarium Hanger out.
Okay, so I'm considering putting out videos of other content that have nothing to do with collecting toys, and I'm curious what you guys think. Please comment down below and let me know. But there's things that I use YouTube for. I actually started using YouTube in the beginning for a resource for stuff like how to fix a lawnmower, how to fix a washing machine, how to hack a PlayStation, a PSP, all those things. But then I started zeroing in on collectibles, which is you just can't find anywhere else talking about collectibles. But I want to occasionally throw in a video talking about the best lawnmower, because I've gone through some lawnmowers and I found one I love. And other things like that. Of course, I am going to do some more exotic cars that I'm going to look at. I have a DeLorean coming up eventually, whenever I can make my schedule, could meet with Trey. But a lot of those things that I'm looking at, I'm curious if you'd be interested in those content, and let's see what are the other things, you know, kind of life hack things. But comment down below what you think. I'll be there, hang around.